Although Savon got a new one when he was down in Newport for a little bit. Messing
Oh,
out.
really?
Yeah, and then it still had all the same popping issues with the phone and everything else. Brand new out the box.
Love that.
Still issues. AZ Zachary, good morning. Good morning, sir. Caleb Barnhagen out this morning. We're going to do a little potentially live call-in. I don't know. Last time I had to get on here and beg
really?
people to call in like I was just some homeless dude on the streets.
Nobody's got any good questions. Everybody just wants to sit around and watch people talk for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's pretty lame.
Especially because it was just me on here. Sean, what's up? Good morning. So then it's basically just like, then it was an old-fashioned Western standoff. It was just me like, I'm not going to do anything. You guys better call in. And then obviously I was crushed because one of the
fine. I'll just sit here.
I could do this all day. I don't care.
All right, Captain America.
Christine, good morning. Good morning. Oh, Jeffrey. Okay, you can put your question into the chat because we all know you're AI. You don't even call in.
It's
Jonathan,
true.
good morning. Fergie, what's up? Matthew, how you doing, dude?
Nice.
I think Jenny has a show with Clinton things today.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the schedule.
Yeah.
Later today. Let's see, what is today? The 28th.
Dude, one of them I was listening to a couple weeks back was hilarious.
Really?
I was at the gym and I was just doing some stuff at the gym, getting it set up for the week, and I actually washed my car over there. I live in an apartment complex.
Nice.
So take it over to the gym and wash it. And there was one point where I was like, stopped everything I was doing. And I was just like laughing out loud. It was hilarious.
Just chicks being ladies or what? I haven't had a chance to listen to that one yet.
It was exactly that. They were talking about their walk of shames through the years.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
God.
I've never heard it from that perspective. So,
oh man, yeah, I might have to go back and watch that one.
It's worth it.
That's brutal.
It's worth it. Jeffrey, I really, really be careful with my cell phone minutes. I have like 60 a month.
Damn, you're still on your parents' plan. That sucks. I'm still on my parents' plan.
I don't even pay my bill, and somehow it just keeps working each month. All right, let's see if I can actually
it's
connect.
Supposed to work, really.
Dude, when we were at Newport, we got in the discussion of private school, or public school, rather, not private school.
Okay.
And Taylor was just going off on Jeffrey. It was funny. And I view it as like whenever anybody gets that worked up with Jeff's comments, like I could just view him back at home, just like sipping a coffee, like satisfied that he's just that worked up. He's just like, my work here is done for the day.
He just threw a grenade in the room, and now he's just sitting back and enjoying the rest of the show because he doesn't have to say anything else.
Oh, dude, it was great. He was like, cite your sources. Like getting so worked up about it.
Oh my god.
I
want to know how he's so fast with the like AI responses.
I'm telling you, he's got it hooked up to some super chat or something.
He must. Yeah, it's impressive. He left his shoes behind to get the fuck out of there so fast. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm telling you, man. It is
that gives me secondhand embarrassment, dude.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, you had the traditional headdress on yesterday. I was digging it.
Yeah. I usually I leave this at work, and for obvious reasons. But I had to bring all my stuff home, so I was like, "Oh, this is so glad that I have it." So now I have another little character in the repertoire, just in case any sort of Middle Eastern type affairs start to pop up.
Yeah, you're prepared.
Yeah, exactly. Of course,
it pops off. All right, we got this new commercial in here by looks like Taylor's new commercial. So I'll play this. We'll be the first to drop it.
We're raising our prices, but not for you. If you're already a member, nothing changes. Your monthly cost stays locked in at $20 forever. For everyone else, once we hit 1,000 members or on December 1st, whichever comes quickest, new memberships will cost $29 a month. Once we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, all 1,000 subscribers are going to get our 100 plus hotel and travel workouts ebook for free. If you've already bought it, you're going to get the updated version with modified options for every single workout. You still have time to lock this $20 price in for life. Sign up now and save at trainsentinel.com. You don't want to miss it.
Picture in the corner. Yeah.
Part of me doesn't think that first picture of Taylor is real. And then I've also seen him look that like lean and shredded, and I'm like, okay, I think it's actually real. But I don't know. It's close.
It's like he's getting ready for a movie part or something.
Yeah.
And he has to be super lean. Super lean.
Yeah, that's a good commercial. I like that.
I was hoping it was a Paramount part of your wardrobe now, Caleb. Wow, you're getting lots of I thought Jordan J2 was catfish. Like I thought that wasn't real for the longest time. And then I saw
it looks catfish, right? It looks like she looks like a honeypot, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're just trying to suck information out of me or something.
That's it, dude. She wants the secrets.
She's a little Russian spy or some shit. Putting me out.
She's gonna know. Taylor working on the baby college fund. Yeah, it was funny. I actually had a conversation a while back with Taylor about his prices, and I was like, "Hey,
I heard that was heated.
It gets
I heard
heated.
that was a big deal.
It gets well. That's where the whole Hormozy thing started from. That's why he started making fun of me from it quite a bit. Not like that has anything to do with anything. Literally, it's not like I mentioned it at all. I was rereading one of his books when I was in NorCal.
Yeah.
So I got up in the morning because it was on my time zone. Usually it's on the East Coast, and I'm dragging my ass out of bed just in time to get to wherever we need to.
Yeah.
And since it was on the West Coast, I was up at my normal time, and I had to go out and sit on the back patio of that house in Sacramento. I was reading the book, and him and Bryson saw it a couple times, and I was just like asking him questions about the business and stuff as I normally do. And that was it. Ever since then, the Hormozy jokes came rolling in.
I did think it was kind of crazy that he was charging $20 a month.
Yeah, I mean, he wanted it to be a really affordable program that gave the most value, and he accomplished it. Now it's time to raise those prices.
Right. Yeah. I think of all the programs, I mean, you and I have probably been around doing CrossFit for a really long time. So I'm guessing you've probably gone through all of them out there. You got, I mean, your training things, your Mayhems, your HWPOs, whatever it is. And like, what was that one? It was like a outlaw barbell. Do like the outlaw way or whatever, like all that shit.
Yep. Yep.
None of them come even close to Sentinel, I think. Just with the notes, the substitutions, the variation, but it's also not complicated. Like you want to go out and do sometimes I just don't really care to put a lot of thought into what I want to do to work out. Like sometimes I just want to go out and do something, and it's like that almost every time.
Yeah. And on top of that, you get to see him throw down on here every Saturday, and the proof is in the pudding, right? Like we do some of the Kill Taylor workouts. We did one last week with the dumbbell clean and jerks, the pull-ups, the box jump over, and the lunge, the overhead walking lunge. And we did that workout at the gym. I made regular pull-ups instead of chest to bar pull-ups, and he still beat me by like 2 minutes. It's like, dude. Yeah, it's just so quick. CrossFit by reading Matt means audible sometimes, but this time it was an actual book. Franco, Souza, you follow it? I do not. I write all my own programming, and I do all the workouts with the class at the gym. I have for years. I've done a lot of the different programs. The Outlaw Way was one of my staples.
Really?
Yes. There was like 3 major ones in like 2013, 2014. It was like Competitor WOD, which is Bergeron's one. Was Invictus, and then Outlaw Way.
Nice. Yeah. I remember Outlaw Way for me was like almost like .com for a lot of people, where you you go to the website, you pull it up, and you scroll to see if it got posted yet, that kind of thing. Like you were kind of excited to look it up. And yeah, I enjoyed that for the little bit that I did it. It's cool.
Max Statch every single day, 12 minutes.
That's probably why my body hurts too.
Every single day. Smoloff Jr. This is something that I thought was hilarious. Like looking back, it's like everybody it had to get strong. That was when everything started to get a lot heavier in the games, and the programming was skewing that way. And Rudy's program was just like literally meant for Bulgarians on steroids. And then it's just me, 2 years into CrossFit, not having ever squatted. My squat was trash, and here I am doing Bulgarian or Smoloff Jr. Gave me a hip problem. Caleb is still paying for Outlaw Way, even though Rudy went to jail.
Oh fuck! I didn't even realize he went to jail. What do you go to jail for? Like tax fraud or
he
something?
he smacked up I thought he smacked up Elizabeth Akinwally, but it turned out they were just hooking up or something. I don't know. That might be a
Oh,
complete
nice,
rumor.
nice.
I think it's had something to do with him getting
Maybe that's
physical.
why
I
she got a
think
little
with the
crazy.
female. Yeah, that's why she was able to snatch 200 pounds though too. Oh yeah.
Oh, good point.
See, Jenny's got all the tea. Wife beater.
Ooh,
Franco, he beat
I
up
looked up,
Stefan.
I looked up Rudy Outlaw Way, and the first thing is a Reddit thread says Rudy parentheses Outlaw Way is a total douche, and then it's just
Yeah.
like a thread about. Oh, that's funny. I didn't realize.
Thank you, CrossFat. Yes, allegedly. He allegedly that's our favorite word here on the Sevon podcast. He allegedly beat up one of his athletes. He allegedly trained
Oof.
Akinwale. We don't actually know what the situation is. One can only speculate. Mark Moss, Souza, what program do you use for your gym? My program. And it's a series of me looking at Taylor's workouts, JR's workouts, .com's workouts.
Yeah.
I like to just look at a lot of the workouts and kind of get inspired by it. I really enjoy doing the programming for the gym. There's something about being able to also program workouts that are in the environment that you're in. So like I know the perimeter of our gym is like 80 meters. So we'll like do an 80-meter lunge around the perimeter and different things like that. Just the way the classroom flows. So I have always enjoyed writing my own program. I have for over 10 years now, every
Holy
single
shit.
day. Yeah.
How do you do that in like a week at a time, or like how do you block that out? Are you because so my old affiliate that I used to go to, he
Mhm.
used to program like literally day to day, and as a coach, that was probably one of the more frustrating things to deal with,
Yeah, that's
is
awful.
because it would be like 9 p.m. and I'd be coaching the 5 a.m. class, and obviously I would like really appreciate if I got some sleep every once in a while. Um, but he wouldn't post it till like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And so then I'm like, well, now I gotta write a warm up, and I gotta like now I'm trying to mentally
Oh,
prep for the
geez.
morning workout so that I don't have to wake up. So I'm not up at 4 trying to like get the cobwebs out kind of thing.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? Do you just do it like a week at a time, couple weeks at a time, or and adjust
That
as you need it, or what?
the hour before. No, dude, that's ridiculous. The day before is crazy. I feel like that's not even programming. That's just like throwing spaghetti on the wall. No, I
Trust me, it's
usually
100% less.
it was funny. I asked Taylor and Bryson the same question, and having not known how they did it, I do very similar to what they do. Where I'll kind of plan out strength stuff like a month or so ahead. You have your stuff that you might know you want to do or focus on for that month, and then I'll program usually like 2 weeks at a time. I've done
Okay.
stuff where I've done like a full month at a time, but I end up like by the time I end up getting there, I end up changing a bunch of the workouts, or I'm just like, this one doesn't look as fun, or I want to try this or something else. So my sweet spot is about 2 weeks out in front, with the
Mhm.
strength stuff about a month out. And then usually I'll start to have some sort of ideas down for that third week. And I have a big Google Doc that actually has like all the years of the gym's programming too, like
Holy shit.
back there as well. And then I usually have 3 weeks worth of blocks, or 4, which is where the strength goes in. And then I have the week of, that's the main page. So all the coaches they all have access to that doc. So they could go and see kind of what's going to come in the 3 week span. They could go and see the full week. And then for the gym, we usually load up the workout for the full week ahead of time. So by Sunday night tonight, you'll have all the workouts usually put up. Sometimes if I'm in between what I want to do on Saturday, I just kind of want to see how everybody's feeling, because I know the first part of the week might have some really long workouts or something like that. I'll usually allow a little bit of space there before I program Sundays, or before I actually release it publicly, because I realized that if I put it out there and I make changes, some people will look at it through the week, and then I'll make changes. And then when Saturday gets there, like, wait a minute, it originally was this or this, and now it's this. And like, I'm gonna get that on Friday because I changed Saturday's workout, or I changed, made a couple adjustments the night before. which is funny because they really get stuck on it once it's written. So
Yeah,
I think it might change.
That's funny because I feel like if you release it like a week in advance, I mean, this may just be me being a lazy piece of shit, but I would cherry pick throughout the week. Like, do
Mhm.
you have people like, have you noticed that happen more often or like less often depending on how you did it? Like, I would look at probably a Monday and be like, oh, thrusters and burpees, you can get fucked. I'm going to go run a 5K or something instead. Like,
Yes.
I
Yep.
would 100% just dismiss that stuff if I saw it. And maybe that's why I just avoid looking at it until the day of.
Mhm.
Like when I do Sentinel programming, I won't look at it until like, okay, this is my time to work out. It gives me less opportunity to deviate one way or the other. Like,
Yeah.
do you have a lot of people that do that in your affiliate, or are they pretty like honest?
So it's a little bit of both. I like the way that you do it, which is just you're getting ready to work out and then you just look at the workout and it is what it is. Like you're like,
Mm,
I'm already here. I'm not doing it. So I always strongly suggest my members do not look at the workout ahead of time. I'm like, just show up. You're gonna do it anyways. Like, don't worry about it. But yeah, there's for sure people that'll like, especially if it's something really tough. Like if we have like a hero workout or there's like, I don't know, a longer one, or it's gonna be like we were doing sets of 8 back squats a couple
mm,
weeks back. And sometimes they would see those and be like, dude, Wednesday, oh my gosh. And it's Monday, you know?
yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure there's cherry pickers. There's a couple people that do 3 times a week at the gym that'll
Mm,
kind of look at it and say, okay, which days look the best? And I'll try to plan my workouts around that. But of course, there's always cherry pickers. Like
yeah.
if I ever have a busy Thursday and just need some time off, I just program a 5K. The classes go super far to like low in attendance, and and then the ones that do show up, you're like pumped because you do a bunch of running drills, you get everybody fired up, and they really want to be there for that 5K.
Yeah.
And I typically make the joke during the whiteboard debrief when we have the 5K, and I'm like, great job, guys. You are the few, you are the proud, you were the ones that forgot to check the workout before you showed up. It always gets a little
That's
laugh out of it.
nice. Nice.
Yeah. Simo, what's up? Good to see you. If you don't cherry pick Cap, you'd end up injured. Oh, like the CrossFit affiliate program. I peek into that every now and then too. I do peek into those workouts. I like to look at like a kind of an array of what everybody is doing
Yeah.
and use it for a little inspiration and kind of see where volume's at or what's going on. My biggest thing, especially as we get closer to the open, is I never want my programming. I don't want people to do it and then the open show up and have them be like, we weren't prepared for this. We didn't do this. We didn't do
Mm,
that. We never do this.
right.
And that hasn't happened because I usually use the open kind of as my North Star for how I program, because the open just
Okay.
really like capacity based. It's just basic CrossFit. Like it's not fancy. And I know some people are like, well, there's muscle ups and sometimes there's handstand stuff. Like, newsflash, guys, that shit is basic CrossFit.
Hmm.
Handstand walking, ring muscle ups, double unders. Like I know it's high skill and it's something that takes a lot of years to work on, but that is just basic CrossFit.
I was gonna say, what do you like? mm, What kind of metric do you use, or like how do you gauge if your people are getting better? Like, are you looking at their scores in in your Wodify app? Like, are you able to go
Mhm.
through and say, okay, well, this person I can see kind of like from their history, they're actually improving here. So this what I'm doing with my back squat cycle is actually helping, or like how do you? And then obviously, like the annual thing would be the open, right? So
Right.
how do you kind of gauge that they're like every quarter, every cycle that you're throwing up is actually making a difference to them?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I do exactly kind of what you said. Like I keep my hand on the pulse of, especially my members that have been in there for 10 years. So
Mm,
I have this one. I have a couple of them, but there's one in particular that is just super consistent. Like he's just been crazy consistent for like 10, 11 years. He's been with me from the very start and does, he's a 6 day a week workout guy. So usually I'll talk to him and I'll be like, hey, how's your body been feeling this week? That type of stuff. So it's just like, the day to day.
mm,
But at the same time, he is now started in his early 30s, is now in his early 40s, getting to the mid 40s. And so I look at his stuff, like when we redo benchmark workouts, like is he PRing still? I look at his strength stuff, like is he still getting stronger? And if we could check all those boxes and he is, then that's anecdotally, because it's only one person, but
sure.
I know that it's working. And then I always just base it off at like how people are feeling. Like I coach enough of the classes to watch like, all right, are my members now that have been doing this for the last month or 2 months, like are they slowing down? Are they regressing, or does it look like they're continuing to progress here? So that's typically what I'll use. And then of course the open. Not a lot of people necessarily will sign up officially because they always have their excuse as to why they won't be on the whiteboard. But on Fridays, it
$20
is,
is a lot of money.
yeah, it is. It is. It's so much to know that I suck. But we'll do the workouts on Fridays, and so it doesn't matter if you're signed up or not. The whole gym does the open workout on Friday. Like
Oh, okay.
that's how we program it. That's how I've always done it. So I'll typically have everybody's scores from that, whether they're officially on the leaderboard or whether it's just in the Wodify app. And then I'll look at a lot of the people that are consistent and things like that and be, okay, are they getting better? How did they score relevant to just like the larger thing of the field of the leaderboard? And if all of it looks good there, I know that it's going in the right direction.
Nice.
I used to way back when, like our shit was like competitive programming. Like
Yeah.
if you looked at some of the stuff I programmed before, you were like, how did anybody coach this? You had like 5x5 back squat at 80% to start, your
Yeah.
Monday off. And then you'd have a 15-minute Metcon that have nothing to do with squatting. You had to like teach all these other movements, and like classes constantly would run over and stuff like that. But it was the Wild West. It's like the 2013, 2014 years. And that was just kind of like, what more people gravitated towards then. And then as the population aged, and as you wanted to really focus in more on coaching and not just like moving people through the workout,
Right.
we started to delineate like, okay, we're gonna have strength days, and then we're gonna have Metcon days. So
I think I've noticed that with a lot of like newer strength and conditioning coaches, CrossFit coaches, people who are programming for like a group of people, is that they end up like over programming. Like there's too much.
yeah,
And like what they've put together doesn't really flow. It doesn't really make sense.
yeah,
And like it seems seems random, not varied. You know what I mean? Like they're
yep,
they're they're throwing like, it's like, oh, it's an EMOM and you have to do like 20 burpees in the first minute, and the second minute you have to do 15 box jumps, and then the next minute you're doing like a farmer carrier. It just seems it's super weird. But then also they've made it so that it's going to take longer than an hour. So like,
mhm,
oh well, now I like everything you have. It's like minute by minute rather than like you give yourself time. Like if you look at the CAP programming, you have like, okay, there's a water break here for 2 minutes, or you have 5 minutes in this little window so that everybody can get their barbells out and start warming up. Like you're giving people like a transition period
yeah,
instead of just
yeah,
being like, in a perfect world, sure, maybe you could do all of those things in an hour, but it's it's never a perfect world, and you're always having a time constraint, and you always like, oh well, I got to take a shit, and it's minute 35 of my hour long class. Like now I've
yeah,
just somebody's out into the taking a shit for 10 minutes, and now you've just wasted all that time with the rest of the class. I just That is super. I think I noticed that in the beginning, like you were saying, when everybody was starting to program, like, oh, I want to do regionals, like it was attainable
mhm,
back then, and everybody thought they could do it. So
yep. And then to bring back regionals, that was, I think, a huge part of the open, is to have that, whether it was just an illusion or not, like I could make it to the next stage.
right,
And that was huge. And yeah, once they started like condensing all the regions and making it tougher and things like that, you definitely saw people fall off of it. I mean, I don't really have
yeah,
like a good answer right now as far as like how you would fix that, but I do think that having those carrots that are somewhat tangible for the next stage, like so you
yeah,
could like continue to level up, is super important. I like Christine. If you're new to programming, definitely think you should focus on your box and use other programming until you get used to it. And then because above that, Jordan asked, do you think every affiliate should write their own programming? I
mm,
like how she also said earlier that icon or her profile picture has become her whole personality now. I,
that's how she gets people to pay attention to her. It makes sense.
yeah, if I honestly think that every single gym owner should definitely write their own programming at some point. I
Mhm.
get that a lot. There's a lot going on. And like, you know, when I opened the gym, I was in my mid-20s and stuff. I had all the energy to coach every single class and I was super into the programming and like I just couldn't imagine doing anything else. And I know not everybody is going to have that same situation or be like that. So it is tough to keep up on it. But if you do not spend time learning how to program and how to write your programming and understanding the needs of the members in the class that's in front of you, like you're doing yourself a big disservice, just in the sense of too of like your own development. Because a lot of these programs, and I know Mayhem is like a super popular one. Like typically you go to a gym and you're like, well, what program do you guys use? And they're like, oh, we do Mayhem, and that's great. But that is like, it's going to be skewed towards competitors. There is going to be a lot more volume in that. And it is going to be that way, which is fine. But if you don't take the time to actually learn it and adjust it for your members and use your environment, that's the one thing that I really like. Like if when you're programming and using your own gym floor, using the stuff you have around you, the length of the floor back and forth for lunges or, you know, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I think you're missing out on a big portion of it. So I think at some point, every single gym owner, oh, Victoria, she came back when, my old business partner, Doug, my favorite was Tuesdays at the OG CFL with rowing and strength with Doug. Yes. The weightlifting, what do we call it? Weightlifting intervals, I think, or interval weightlifting training or whatever. We used to do these, you would do a lift, let's call it a thruster from a rack, and you would get as heavy as you could in a certain amount of time. And then you would adjust to like a 70-80% of it. And then you would do X amount of reps in a given time period and then row for the remaining time. And those workouts were just brutal, but everybody set their own, you know, everybody
It's like
set
self-regulating kind of thing.
exactly. CrossFit 3-position snatch. That was a big Rudy Nielsen outlaw way. We just did both 3-position snatch and 3-position power clean the last week. I really like those for people to learn like the actual movements, learn the technique, because whenever you pause at each position or you're forced to lift from like the hip or the knee or off the floor, like it changes it changes the way you think about the lift. And you'll always find one spot that you're good at and one spot that you suck at doing those 3 positions. 2 toes, Souza overthinking period. Definitely. Welcome to every day of my life, my friend.
That's a crazy profile picture. Is that like?
Yeah, I told them that's
is
the
that
last
McAfee's
time.
knob?
It looks like it, dude. Is that real, 2 toes? I think I talked about that last time. Yeah, dumb it down is better. 100%, dude. You are correct. Like if you have this whole yeah, look, I was just gonna say that too. If I need cliff notes to do it, I opt out. Yeah, if your programming is like so complicated, you're following some sort of roadmap to figure out how to do it. It's like, oh,
Hey,
Metcon with continuity sucks. What do you say?
Two Toes made a comment. Says I deleted that comment, but how did you get it? We see everything, Two Toes.
Oh, don't you worry.
Don't worry.
I overthought. And it came back. The comment came back.
Interesting.
Nah, too real, to be honest. Yeah, dude, that's fucking... Dude, that is nuts, though.
No, thanks. I'm guessing somebody probably did that. But
God, that is insane.
It's like that. What was that guy's name? The dude who reclimbs buildings?
Yeah, Alex
Yes.
Landlot.
Lando.
Yes.
Yes. He did some shit on like an antenna tower. He like scaled like a 5G tower, and then him and his buddy were like doing pull-ups off the side of it.
Oh, god damn.
No, thank you.
Dude.
I guess he tried to climb down one of the guide wires.
Yeah.
And he got like halfway and he said it was too hot because of the 5G.
What the fuck?
No, thank you.
I follow some of his stuff on Instagram, and like there's times where I will watch his reels or a story and my palms are like sweating. Like I already have a whole thing with like heights. Like it's not like too crazy. I just get nervous when people get close to the edge or when I have to like look over the edge of something. Like I've gotten a lot better about it over the years. But my goodness, this dude in some of his stuff. Yeah, what is What is that? Dude.
You got a drone up
Fist
there.
bump. Oh man. We've had him on the podcast twice, I believe.
Yeah. It's crazy talking to that guy.
That is just absolutely insane. I don't know. There is something to who was it? The Alex dude that free soloed Half Dome, but they made the doc on it, so he became real popular. And then as you got into it, you realize like he was just kind of like one of multiple of those dudes. And there was some guy that's like in his mid 60s that has been doing it for forever, and they call him like the kind of the godfather of the free solo.
Yep.
Yeah, to hear him talk about it was really crazy because he was like so obsessed with like perfection. And I think he was on a Rogan podcast, and he basically was just like, yeah, when I do that, that's what I'm looking for, because like it can't not be perfect. Like if you screw up, like that's the end of that. Like
that is, yeah, it's got to be crazy because that's probably one of the few feats where you can't make a single mistake.
None
for the entire, because I mean you're just dead.
None.
Like there's like some margin of error other places, like with
Right.
other, like, I don't know, skydiving, fucking flying the plane, all that stuff, whatever. But you climb something without a rope and basically nothing else but chalk, and you have handholds that are like the size of a credit card.
Yeah.
Like the width of a credit card.
Like,
yeah. There's nothing you cannot do anything. You can't fuck it up.
Oh, it's absolutely insane. Barbell spin. Where's Savon? Who are these guys? Listen, buddy. I'm relying solely on the chat today. Okay. So Caleb and I are here.
Somebody please say something.
That was the last Hotline show, and I go back and I like look at the comments, and it's just spin like, who else relies on the chat for their show?
Oh no. Oh no.
So I had to hit him back with your mom question.
Hey, that's not very nice.
Hey,
we're trying really hard over here. Okay.
Spin, why don't you go ahead and call in with a question for us?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I guess I don't know if Spin did this or JR posted this. Did you see what JR posted yesterday? He said that if you win Crash Camp, you get us invite to NorCal.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah,
I thought that was kind of sick.
That's really cool.
So there you go. Winners will receive. So Crash Crucible was that next month?
Yep.
Middle of next month. Winners will receive a special invitation to the NorCal Classic.
Dude,
that's kind of cool.
It's really cool. And you know what else is also just awesome about that, which we started to see happen, is like the announcement that Dave made about the Open happening at Wodapalooza. And then you see things like this. It's really cool to see all the independent things like somehow collaborating with each other in one way or another. Yeah. And so this will be great for Colton because he won't have to after he wins Crash, he won't have to worry about qualifying for NorCal now.
That's right. Yeah, no, I thought that was pretty cool. That's not a connection I would have expected.
No,
either. I'm kind of removed, or I've been removed for a little bit, but seeing that is pretty sweet, just because of like, I don't know. Those are two competitions that I imagine are the best ones.
And
so, I mean, I'm a little partial to JR's competition. I love his competitions; they're really great.
Oh, look at us!
Pretty sick.
We have a caller.
Oh boy.
Hold on. Let's see if this will work. Caller, what's your name? Welcome to the show.
Who are you?
Caller.
This is Caleb? Souza?
Yes. You reached the Sevon podcast, the CrossFit Hotline. What is your name? What affiliate you go to?
My name's Thomas.
Thomas, welcome to the show. What can we do for you?
I got a question. My gym is changing up their programming, and they're switching over to this thing called the level method.
Okay.
I was wondering if you have heard, or if you've ever looked at the level method, if you had any thoughts about it.
Okay, I have not. What is it? We'll pull it up here on the screen, the level method.
I think an affiliate that I used to go to back in Virginia used to use this. They have like, I'm trying to find the sign that's associated with it, but they like break everything down into levels, obviously. But
Yeah.
you have God damn it, where is it? Here we go. System.
Thomas, what
It's
program
kind of
were you guys?
based off of,
Go ahead.
well, previously, one of the other longtime coaches of the gym was doing the programming,
Mhm.
and the gym is kind of making some changes, I guess, away from what I would consider more traditional CrossFit style and possibly de-affiliating at some point.
Mm.
But the level method is kind of more like, it's based on this belt method, like colors. So you start at white, then yellow, and it works your way up to the higher colors, just like you would in jiu-jitsu or martial arts.
Okay.
And within each color, there are like certain steps, and basically the fitter you are, the higher belt ranking you are.
Ah, so they're developing a
And-
class system inside your gym. This is good because now you know who you get to shit on, right?
Well, yeah, I guess you can put it that way.
Yeah, we're looking at it now. I see
Oh,
all the fancy colors here. So what what was the program you guys were doing before?
One of the longtime coaches was doing the programming himself.
Ah, okay, that's right. You just
So
said that.
it
Yeah, so
wasn't
he's
like-
gone and now they're bringing in the level method, huh?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, I can tell you that
And-
Two Toes isn't going to like it because this is already complicated as shit as I look at it here.
Dude, it is next level. Like, I love CrossFit, I love fitness, but even looking at the whole chart, their website of how they rank you, and the app that they use to log all their workouts is just way overblown. Like, it's just too much. And a lot of our members are that 35 to probably 65 age range.
Yeah.
And the involvement of the app in the, I guess, the technology part
Mm-hmm.
is just so much. Like, we're
Yeah.
getting rid of our whiteboard. We're putting in a TV. Everybody has their own workout on the level method. It's not like this is the RX version and you
boy.
scale from there. Every person has an individual workout that is tailored to their belt color. And even within that workout, say you have a really good deadlift but a really shitty run time in the assessment, then that workout will tailor it. So you'll do part of it as one belt color and the other part as a different belt color.
Oh boy.
It's just, I think it's way too much. I think it's going to turn a lot of our members away just because of the complexity of it.
Let me ask you
yeah,
this.
I
And
guess that's a quick.
this is gonna be the big question here. Do they actually give you a belt?
Dude, I want like wristbands. Like, we all get wristbands when
Yeah.
we come in or something.
Yeah.
So you know everybody's color.
Yeah. If you
I
don't
think
get a
the
belt,
will get in the way, but
oh man, if you don't get a wristband or a belt or a headband, I'm fucking all the way out here.
In the military, they give
Yeah,
you a
headband.
reflective. In the military, they give you a reflective belt, and the red belt in the military means you're a piece of shit. You can't run. So, I
That's
think
something I'd
maybe
identify
we
here.
just start giving people reflective belts in the affiliate, and then now you know you can just point out all the shitbags, be like, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. Especially when you're out running, then you can tell, you can delineate. It's more obvious that way. So yeah, I think the level method's great. It sounds like a really good idea. You can just shame people.
Yeah.
endlessly.
Yeah, Thomas, I'm going to let you know right now. I'm not a fan of this. I don't think the chat is either. I think this is trying to gamify it at the highest level here for some sort of retention or to make people feel like it's easier to get involved. I'm gonna go ahead and it's gonna be a no for me, dog. That's where I'm at with
Yeah, I
that.
think it's a really bad idea. That the amount of like change you have, the amount of improvement you have to make to go from one spot to the next. Like, so all of those colors are like benchmarks. So like I can squat 225, I can deadlift 315, or I can whatever it is,
Right.
And if you
Right.
so you're like you could be like Tyler said in the comments, he says John Young is a simultaneously like a red level 2 on something and a white, but actually also like a white level 1 or some whatever the fuck it is. So
Mhm.
you have people who are really good in one aspect but not very good in the other, but then you're assigning a level to them and they're actually, it almost makes them feel like they're, I don't know. I think it's lazy and it's not what you're trying to get at.
It's not huge. Thomas, hopefully there is hopefully the community there and stuff isn't too grounded in it. And you know what, brother? We'll be praying for you here at the Sevon podcast and your belt
Thoughts and prayers.
system. Please follow up once you get your wristbands or your reflective stuff and everybody gets assessed with the class system at your gym. We would love to see it. Tag us on the Real Sevon podcast on Instagram.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Thomas, thank you for your call. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Souza. Thank you, Caleb.
Later, brother. God
Thanks,
bless.
Thomas.
See how biblical I was today? I
That
forgot.
was good. That was
though.
nice. Yeah. I felt like your anger translator there for a second.
Yeah, I was trying
Oh
to.
yes, I don't believe it does a very good job. That shit's fucked up, dog.
I was pissed I didn't get to use my.
Damn, that would have been sick.
Yeah, I forgot to hit the button when he called. I got nervous. I was like, "Oh shit!" 40 minutes into the show and our first call.
Wow. Nice.
That's crazy. I don't like the belt, the whole belt system thing. Barbell spin. I heard you get this as the fitness project. Oh, Bill Grunler, I want high socks instead of a belt. See, now we're thinking, guys. You know what I'm saying? We're already improving.
Oh my god! Did you see that
program.
CrossFit Games post about like what it like back in the day, the styles of back in the day, and it was like everybody wearing these long socks. And how
Wow, you mean CrossFit's posting stuff that made them really popular and recycling it on their Instagram? Who would do such a thing?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Long shorts.
Oh yeah.
Longer shorts.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, the compression.
Dude, doesn't he just looks so shredded? It's so cool.
Oh man.
More compression.
The
compression
gloves.
king, obviously.
Oh yeah. Awesome Yellow.
That's still in. The huge hats are still in for sure.
Mm-hmm. That was back when they had good colors.
Yep.
Yeah, look at those colors.
Yeah, those are sick. No, it's too plain.
No.
Just the Lucas Parker. This is just called. Dude, look at Asia Barto.
Oh man.
Wow.
Look at him. They're just next to a family playing right there. Look at that. Just a little Asian boy in a sun hat next to him.
Look at this lady. She's like, what the hell is even this?
See, this is how we inspired the people out there on the beach. Although Lucas Parker, whatever happened. Oh, the Dan Bailey. Look at him.
The headband. The bigger
Always
headband.
the bride. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Womp womp.
The biggest. There it is.
The tall socks.
Dude, are those the Dewins with the wooden heel? That's what's up.
Oh,
that's what's up.
Those are the good old days.
Man. Oh, the headphones. Look at Dave back there. Look at him with his
an Adidas CrossFit shirt. So wild. I thought
that's amazing. Oh, Jenny, they missed Stacy Tovar's white shorts, but you best believe we didn't. Best believe
we'll never.
We didn't. Andrew Hiller, unlike fitness projects, at least you know what you are getting as someone part of the level method. Yeah, that's true. I guess at least their shit's thought out, right?
Wow. Yeah.
The other people were.
What do you get as a fitness project?
You get to go on vacation with Will Morad.
Honestly, kind of nice.
I would go to Hawaii with him. Just saying.
I'd go to Copenhagen 5 times a year.
Just rip a bong load with Jackson. Dude, I got this great idea. It's going to be like this project, right? And then we're just going to get all the best athletes and then they're going to work out.
Oh,
How are we gonna do that, dude? My parents, girlfriend's friends' parents will pay for it, bro. Spiritual Souza. I know it's Sunday. We're just here. We're just here. I really did feel for Thomas.
Amen.
The level method is rough. I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. This is Aaron here, and he does maintenance and repairs on equipment at gyms.
Oh
And I
wow.
will tell you that this dude, this is him in front of Dabo. He's from down south, like from Southern California, and he drove up here and did a couple of services on all of my rowers, all of my assault bikes, all of my barbells. And I've used a couple different companies. Sometimes I've done it myself and different things like that. This dude is a gem. He showed up at 5:30 a.m. to get started on the equipment at my gym. And on that first day, he didn't leave until like 8 o'clock. He went
Whoa.
over to Diablo the next day, showed up again at like whatever, 5:30, 6 a.m., didn't leave Diablo until 11 p.m. until all
Oh
of it was
my
done.
God.
He came back on Friday to CFL, got there at about 6 a.m., and I didn't leave with it. I went back to the gym to close up and chatted with him as he was setting all the stuff up. We didn't walk out of there till 11:45 p.m. at night. And
Oh my God.
all the assault bikes, all the rowers, all the barbells, some of this stuff I have had for 11 years, 12 years, and it is running like new. And when I tell you that his attention to detail and his work ethic and his attitude is top notch, like he is solid. So if you're in California area, or if you're I think he was saying he's gonna start to do some stuff over on in Arizona. He is completely self-efficient. So what I mean by that is he pulled up, I offered him to go to the back of the gym and just set up back there, and he's like, oh no, with all the dust and all the noise, I don't want to be a disruption to the classes at all. He has his own full setup. He popped 2 easy ups. He throws out his whole table. He has his own generator. He has his own compressor out there. He has his own water stream. Like
Wow.
everything is completely self-efficient, and he just sets off to the side. It
Wow.
is great. And he's very thorough with all the job. He gave me like a whole, like he did a bunch of the replaced a bunch of the parts, let me know all the other stuff that I needed to get. I immediately put him on retainer. Like I've used some places before that like kind of like put a little oil in the chain and shit, and then they finish, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why does this not like look like anything was really done? But when
Right.
he walked out, all of it felt like it was new.
Wow.
So
Oh my
hit him
God.
up,
That's gotta be brutal. Those events.
dude. It was
I
yeah.
have one rower and 2 people use them. Me and my wife. And that shit looks awful.
Yeah.
I do, and every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna undo all of that
It's
and try to clean that off. That's awesome.
he strips the bikes like all the way down,
Dude.
replaces all the parts that are needed. I had some really old Rogue barbells, like they were
Yeah.
purchased in like 2011,
Yep.
2012. And it was funny because he brought me over and he's like, so these are the bearings that go around that help it spin, or like the washer. And
Yeah.
like 2 of them were just like dust. And I
Uh.
was like, yeah, I get that. We pulled those ones out from the back there. Yeah, we could just toss those. But yeah, man, I highly recommend him. Not only that, he's been in the CrossFit community for years.
What's his
Aaron's
Instagram called?
his Instagram is gymtech GYMTEK.ca. So go check him out. And I know too, I was talking to him about it just like I do with everybody. And I'm like, so what do you like? What's the goal here, man? Like, are you want to like really do this and expand and everything else? And he does. So if you're also into this and you want to kind of learn from him as well, or intern and you're in the area, like shoot him a DM on Instagram. Super easy to talk to, really responsive. Like he even told me on Friday, he's like, yeah, I'll come back and I'm going to have to do all these bikes. I'm like, okay. He's like, what time are you going to get here? I was like, I usually get here like 5:10, 5:15, a little bit like by the time I have it opened up. And he was like, okay. And he texted me at like 5:25 or something. And he's like, hey, I took the extra hour to sleep in. I'll be there at 6. And like just little shit like that. You know what I mean? Like just making sure they're aware. And there was no time limit as to when he was going to be there. He's on his own and he's doing his
Sure.
own thing, but he still is like communicating and making sure. So yeah, I I highly recommend it. This is not a paid advertisement. Just letting you know.
Dude, that's sick.
And make sure you guys like and subscribe to the show.
Please.
To the show. Come on, do it. Do it. Otherwise, Caleb and I lose our jobs if you don't.
Do it.
I wanted to show you this thing.
Have you
What's
seen
up?
those guys that do like they have like a van or whatever, they have like a truck with a topper and then they just drive around to people's houses and do like oil changes and car washes and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I always see them on TikTok. Like there's like some untapped shit there. And I don't think people are taking advantage. Like my day would be so much nicer if I didn't have to like go somewhere to go like wait in line to do the thing. Like if somebody came to my house and they brought all of the equipment to do an oil change on my car or to do a car wash or whatever it is, it would, and they're all self-sufficient, just like this guy is, this gym tech guy. It would be brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's doing that. At least not around me.
And if you think about it too, you could go over to like a larger corporation or something and get like a contract with them to be like, hey, let me just put out my advertisement that I'm going to be here on this day. And you could detail and clean cars and get all the people that are work there to have you do it while they're at work. Yeah. You'd probably get a shitload of people that wanted to do that. What's CrossFit making fun of me? CrossFit. I love how much of a gringo Souza is. Diablo. Pinche auténtico, way.
Why not change your own oil, Caleb? I do know how to change my own oil. However, I have no time and I'm never home. So I just want somebody to just do all that shit for me. I could probably do it now. I have plenty of time now. But previously I was never home and I was always driving. So that's why. Give up.
And say what you will, I'm one of those dudes that I don't give a shit about doing any of my own stuff. I will pay to have anybody else do it.
Dude, if I have to learn like more than a couple steps, yes.
Yeah. Fuck all
I gotta
that.
like there's some things that I just don't care to learn.
No.
Just
people are like, oh, you're not a man, you don't change your own oil, you don't mow your own lawn. Bitch. What do I look like? I'm 13.
I don't do maintenance on my HVAC system either.
Hell no.
I'm not gonna go learn that. That's a whole university that I gotta go to.
No, outsource that shit. Cody, what's up, man? The type of service will be what the next generation of millionaires were built on. In person, real person, concierge service. Yep, exactly. I think CrossFit said it earlier. He's like, AI is not taking his job. And it's like, nope, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah, there is AI is not taking that dude's job. And on top of that, too, it's just rare that you find somebody that's going to like come in and work that hard and just do it from sun up to sundown until the job is done. You know, not taking any shortcuts at all.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, Souza, great chatting with you. Awaza. You too, brother. It's great to meet you. He had some funny stories about early days with Mr. Fikowski. They lived up in the same building. So this I wish I could take full credit for this idea, but it wasn't. It was Jay's, and it's funny to see CrossFit doing it now. But if you look at some of this old pop culture CrossFit stuff, and you look at the numbers on it, 614, 626. We have constant at 729.
1,000, by the way, not 100,000.
Not 100,000, right? And there's nothing. It's just recycle what we already know.
Around the box.
Keeping up with her today, it's hard to believe that just a few months ago, Constance Tillett's body was failing her.
You've had 2 hip replacements,
2 knee replacements, 2 rotating cuffs, and a full.
Put it down.
But all of that couldn't stop her from turning her life around.
How important do you think it is for seniors to be working out?
Get up and do it. Stop with the whining.
Damn, girl.
Stop with, oh, you gotta take care of me. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Get up and do it. Stop with the whining. Take care of yourself.
Do one more lap.
You heard it. Constant told you right there. It's funny because you already know the path to success. You just look back at everything that made it great, right? And the purpose of this, as Jay was saying, as we started to like post out a lot of this one actually did. I digress for a second, but this reel actually did really well, and it's just a slow motion of all of them snatching.
That's cool.
But I just I like the shot and like how all the barbells are moving. I tried to get another one of those at Wodify with the thrusters, but the field wasn't tight enough to make it look the same. But yeah, there's no reason to oh shit, I lost my mouse. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
We're dead. We're so totally dead.
You're gonna have to unshare the screen. I don't know what happened, but the purpose of me showing you guys that is like a lot of the times you don't need to have this reinvention of the wheel, or oh man, what are we gonna do to do this or to make it great again? I'm like, what the fuck is up with my mouse? Really? I like just charged it all too. That's crazy. God damn it. I feel like I'm like just off on an island here. But the thing is like you don't need to like reinvent the wheel. You don't need to do shit with the media that is going to be like edgy or this new thing. It's just like go back to what was working. Look at it, even reuse some of it, and then build upon what was already there. Like the path was already laid in front of you. It just everybody started veering really far away from it. And it reminds me a lot of Thomas, the caller there with the level method. It's like, so you're going to put freaking wristbands and belts on everybody to show them where they are and the thing. That's like, to me, that just basically separated everybody in your class. It took it from, hey, it doesn't matter what's on the whiteboard that we're doing today. We're going to personalize the workout to you. We're going to adjust it so that way it's at the fitness level that you are walking in through the door. And we're all going to do the same exact workout. Now, all of a sudden, I'm a coach with my freaking clipboard, and I'm going to sit there and be like, oh, Caleb, you're a level 4 for this movement, but a level 1 for this movement. And hey, Tyler, okay, you're going to be a level 10 over here, but you still suck at running, so you're going to be a level 1. It's like, why overcomplicate that? And you're also taking away from your coaches. Like, you should have a coach that when a member walks in and they know the whiteboard on the board, that the coach is knowledgeable enough with not only all the movements and how to scale and adjust them, but also the people that are right in front of them. So that when you walk in, I'm like, hey, Caleb, how's it going? Hey, how's that shoulder feeling? Awesome. Hey, we got some snatches today. And their squat, I know overhead squat isn't your best. We're going to adjust this to here. Oh, so-and-so just came in. Okay, I know they're working to get a handstand walk. So I have this kind of cool adjustment that I'm going to work with you over here that'll help you get closer to that handstand walk. It's like, you've taken away the coach's ability to have that creativity inside scaling that movement and to personalize that workout for them. Like you don't, to me, I think you're doing your gym a massive disservice and your coaches a disservice if you're just like, okay, well, we already know where everybody is in the rank and file system. And now I'm just going to kind of divide you guys out by this. And then that's it. There we go. We'll let you go. It's like, no, man, like coach them.
I don't think it's easier in any way either. Like it's like the shiny new thing. They're like, oh, this will be sick. I'm gonna like revolutionize the way that I run my classes. But then you get in there and it's like, okay, well, now I have a 15-person class, and I have to run through, and I'm looking at all of my athletes, everybody that's working out in this class, and they're all doing something. They're all doing a completely different workout. And now I don't know what's going on with anybody. I can maybe pay attention to one person and understand like where they are in the workout, what movements they're doing each round, whatever it is. But you multiply that times 15, and now there's no uniformity. There's no like keeping track of if somebody's done enough reps or done it the right way or whatever. And then, yeah, it turns into like an impossible task, and it's useless. It's useless.
And I think somebody else on there said too, it was just like lazy, and that's what I agree. I finally got my mouse back. It's charged at 81%. I don't know what the hell just happened. Magnus, what level are Souza and Caleb running the show at? 0.5 or RX? RX, baby. What you think? We're sticking with CrossFit today, though. We could definitely veer off and talk about how, the whole thing with Erica Kirk is a little weird, and the whole memorial thing was a little off, and there's a lot. But you know what? We're going to save that. We're sticking to CrossFit today. We're talking about what's going on in the affiliate.
Trippy.
Okay.
Some weird shit going on out there, dude. Really weird.
Getting weird. Jeremy, what's the incentive to level up as a coach? Yeah, I mean, I think when you just blanket like a system like that onto something, you've turned it into like F45. You've turned it into Orange Theory.
Exactly.
And I've talked about this before. The reason why you do stuff like that is so that way you could hire people that don't necessarily have a lot of skill in their craft. And, I'm treading lightly because I don't want to like knock on anybody here, but the reason why those businesses run that way is so I could take any Joe Schmo, I could run them through the system a few times, and then they could just push everybody around in the stations. And all they need is a cheerleader type personality, right?
The same people that work at Starbucks. It's the same people that work at the car wash. Like, you don't need, it's low skill. You're just managing people. You're showing up, you say, oh, this is the workout, and then you just, yes. And very poorly run affiliates are the exact same way, where their coaches don't go around and they're just cheerleaders, and they're just like, oh, this is the workout that's on the TV. Okay, well, that's what we're doing today. Go ahead and have at it. Those affiliates do not keep people around. They don't grow. Nobody's making improvements. And it's just, it's really bad. And sometimes those affiliates fire their coaches for things that they say on Facebook, but that's neither here nor there.
I feel like there's a whole story there. The other thing too, which this is going to be a callback to when Andrew Hiller like very first came on the scene with his YouTube channel, and I think one of the first real popular ones was like the fact that maybe it was Mal O'Brien or something was doing the muscle ups, was like pushing away and not really locking out and stuff like that. And he stayed really consistent to what he's doing and why he's doing it, especially that newest chick, Mango or whatever that he talked about. And he was like, yeah, if I point this out here, way more people that watch this show, all these eyeballs are going to be like, oh, damn, like that's the standard. And I don't want to deviate away from the standard of the squat. I want to be able to squat in full range of motion so I could live in full range of motion, because that is the way that we do a squat. And if you deviate from that, it is no longer a squat. And the thing that I really liked at his early videos, and I remember as everybody was kind of like feeling him out, like a lot of people were just like, oh, he's a hater. And they never really watched the whole video. And you could tell right away, because he always gave some sort of explanation of like what to do and how to fix it, and also why he was drawing attention to it. He wasn't just like drawing attention to it, be like, hey, look over here. And I'm just like making fun of it, and there's nothing there for you. Right. And that is huge as a coach, because you start to have members that maybe think that they're leveling up or really want to accomplish something. And then you know that the standard is off. You know that the technique is off a little bit. You have to, and this is something that we still use it in the internship with the gym, but you have to have the right amount of consideration and courage. And it's a Stephen Covey thing, but I like to use it for coaches, meaning you have to have the right amount of consideration for that person's like feelings and everything else as you go and approach them on changing whatever it is they're doing, or letting them know that they didn't hit standard, or, hey, I knew you were going really fast during Fran, but not one of your single pull-ups had your chin over the bar, right? So like you have to do that tactfully, but you also at the same time have to have the right amount of courage to go over there and to tell them that they're not doing it correctly. And when you have these like belt systems, or you start to layer this other stuff in where you're just kind of like dumbing the whole thing down, you're making that even like a little bit tougher as a coach, because I get the point of trying to gamify your shit for retention. There's lots of different ways to do that besides this level method. But like, if you're not going over there to that member and saying like, hey, you need to squat better, you need to be in this full range of motion, those movements weren't correct, then like you're doing them just as much of a disservice as like letting them do something that's dangerous, in my opinion. And it's tough because everybody knows. If you've been coaching a while, that you're going to have that one member that like you have that same conversation with them almost every class. You're going to have that one person who you're like, oh, they're going to try to go RX with this. And I know it's going to get sloppy and we're going to have this conversation. And that's the point of coaching. And they used to talk about it a lot. And I'm still, they probably still do from CrossFit HQ, but it used to be like, be relentless, right? And the reason why is because you're going to have to continuously be relentless on the standard. And to me, just like having a coach that could scale the movements, that could adjust it to any member that's right in front of them, regardless of what the workout is, that same member also needs to be relentless, or the same coach also needs to be relentless in holding the standard. And just like when you usher in a belt system or something like that, you're moving away from, in my opinion, what CrossFit is. You're doing the same exact thing if you're allowing your members to move and not move properly in the full range of motion. So just get on my soapbox a little bit there, but I see it all the time. And you go to other gyms, or like the worst is when you see a gym on their Instagram and clearly they brought somebody in there to like film it and make it look nice and everything else. And all like every push jerk just has like a, you know what I mean, type deal to it and everything else. Oh, sick. Here we go. Hold on. Caller, hello. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Pete Shaw from Austin.
Pete, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, man.
Awesome. Man, to the popping thing. See, you hear it, Caleb?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, boy. Pete, what's up, brother? What can we do for you?
Am I live right now?
You're live. You are live, my friend.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
We can. Here, let me see if I could make it not pop. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hang tight, caller. Man, this roadcaster thing, huh?
Canadian line, so maybe it's a border thing.
No. It's definitely the. Okay, hold on. Let me bring this back now. Already there?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. It seems like it's smooth. Go ahead, brother. What can we do for you?
Unreal. Just wanted to I love the conversation you guys are having about coaching, and I just wanted to jump in and add some nuance and riff off of some stuff you guys are talking about, because I think it's great. You guys are just, I don't know if my feed is up to date on what the last thing you guys are talking about, but when you were talking about level method and bring in more experience to the coaches, essentially where you guys are leading is, hey, make sure that your coaches are great coaches so that you don't need as many set, I mean, you guys use the level method as the example, but you know, set scaling options, etc., because it detracts from the freedom of the coach to be able to make decisions on the fly.
Right. Exactly.
And I wholeheartedly agree with everything that you guys are saying. I've never used the level method before, but there's one aspect to that method or some other thing that does something similar that I do find valuable, and it revolves around using the data to motivate your members. Because one of the things that I find, that I've always found, is that the vast majority of people do not track their workouts.
Correct.
There's a select few in the gym. I mean, you probably find this at your gym too, right? And when I owned my affiliate, I found the same thing. Is like there's 10% of the gym. There's like the people that are really dedicated to tracking absolutely everything. Everyone else doesn't. And so it's kind of left up to you as the coach or the owner to find ways to use the data and their improvement and to continue retention and to continue their improvement long term. A lot of people see tons and tons of improvement, but they're not aware of the improvement until you actually show them on paper, right?
Right.
So what I find so cool about these, in one aspect with the level method or these other ones, is it forces the owner or the coach or whoever to come up with a system that's going to track progress independent of the member actually doing it themselves. And so when they circle back and you have these like checkups with them, or you're testing them at some sort of baseline on entering the gym, and then you've got these scheduled assessments and follow-ups with them. It gives you an opportunity to show them the data of their improvement, and it kind of takes the responsibility away from them for doing that themselves. And so that's the positive that I see from that system. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you on the data point. We have different ways to encourage members to do that. Number one, I stand there and I bully them. So if it's a benchmark workout, or I know we're going to repeat it, or it's a lift, it's like a 5 rep or a 3 rep, and I want them to really know what that number is, I will literally walk around and be like, did you put in your score? Did you put in your score? Did you put in your score? The other thing too is we have a whiteboard with PRs for the month, and we got a little bell up there. And so anytime I know somebody has hit a PR, or I ask them, hey, is that the most you've ever done? And they say yes. Again, I give a little words of encouragement for them to go over there and put it up on the board and ring the bell. And then we typically take a picture of those PRs, and then we put it in the app announcements every single month at the start of the month. So you have the previous month's PRs in there, which everybody likes to see their name and what they accomplished up. And so I also think that that's just that's going to just fall again on the responsibility of the coach. Are you going to get 100% adherence to that? Like, no, you're not going to get 100% adherence to anything. But if you're involved enough to go around when you're having a heavy lifting day or something and say, hey, what's the goal? What was the heaviest you got last time, or anything else like that, you tend to move them towards wanting to put in their scores and to log it. The other thing I'll always ask them is like, hey, when was the last time we did the 3 rep max back squat? Did you record it? And then you usually get this like, and I'm like, well, how heavy did you go? Do you remember? And then you kind of start to like push them to either think about it or recall it. And then once they finish the lift, I'll go back and I'll be like, okay, hey, put this in because, and then you kind of give them the why behind it. And then it's great, to your point, of when they actually see that progress and they look down and they see it. It's the same thing like if we use an in-body scan or something like that, where they could look down and they could see their skeletal muscle mass improving, and they could see their body fat dropping, even though the weight of their body weight maybe not has changed. They get that sense of like, holy shit, yeah, I'm doing it. Wow. And you could show it to them on paper. And that's a really powerful tool for retention. And so again, I like keep coming back to, if you have something that does that too automatically or force it, you lose a little bit of the relationship building aspect with the coach to member. Like, you're just going to have to really, as you're training your coaches and as you're taking them through your intern process to start to coach at your gym, just have to make that part of the thing, right? And if they don't, you could say like, hey, this is just as important as, XYZ to us or whatever. So that way the coaches really understand the importance of logging and what that data means to the member.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the main point there is like, you just need to be intentional about setting aside that time to follow up with them, whether it's in class, whether it's outside of class, whatever system you design for your business, and whether it's like, the head coach or each individual coach is responsible for it. It's whatever. There just there has to be intention behind it, because it could potentially get sort of lost in the shuffle of like, not, months go by and you're like, hey, I haven't really actually checked in with anybody. Maybe I should do that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Hey, one question for you. Savon's gone on quite a bit about your seed oils lecture. Is there anywhere, or is it up yet, where we could watch that? Is it on the Broken Science
we're still,
YouTube channel, or any plans in the future for it?
Yeah, totally. We're there's nowhere right now that you can watch it, but we're slowly, if you go to YouTube, you're seeing we're slowly releasing more and more of the content. So the one up of myself that you could see is going through the metabolic pathways with the mitochondria, and basically that lecture surrounds metabolic flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
We just released one. We just released a really good one of Chris Russell. He is explaining in layman's terms, using an analogy about basically how seed oils and insulin impact like a fat tissue cell, and how that leads downstream to chronic disease. And that's a really cool lecture, because essentially what that explanation is talking about is it's giving the mechanism for hyperinsulinemia as the root cause of the deadly quartet, which you're probably familiar with that paper. Greg traveled the world with that paper ever since, since the day he started CrossFit. And to this day, they still talk about and reference that paper in the nutrition lecture at the level 1 seminar, the CrossFit level 1. It's the deadly quartet, published in '89 by a guy named Norman Kaplan. And he observed clinically that hyperinsulinemia was the root cause of the deadly quartet, which is upper body obesity, hypertriglyceridemia, glucose intolerance, and hypertension. And so what we've done with this, with the lecture that you're referring to, the seed oil one, is that's basically the explanation of it, but there's like a snippet of it that Chris has online. So I would recommend go see that. It's not the full thing.
Awesome.
But we're gonna slow drip that. So pretty soon you'll probably see that come out in the next couple months.
Hey, that's awesome. And if anybody wants to go sign up to take the seminar, where should they go do that at?
They can go to metfix.org.
Awesome.
www.metfix.org. Yeah, and we've got we're actually right now we're running our second last seminar in the US in 2026. We got one more in Jacksonville at the end of October. That's going to be a really cool one because we've partnered up with GoRuck, and on Friday we're in the headquarters of GoRuck. It happens to be in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
So we're partnering up with them. We're doing a free event on the Friday where we're going to give like a small lecture on what is Medfix. GoRuck's going to lead the whole crew through a ruck on the beach, and then we get a tour of their headquarters facility. So anyone who wants to sign up for that free event, you can go to the same website and sign up for that. And then the Saturday, Sunday is going to be the seminar at in Jacksonville, and then we're going to the UK, and we'll circle back to the US in 2026.
Dude, that's awesome. Hey, Pete, thanks for the call, bro. Thanks for adding for the conversation. And we'll push people on over to go check out that seminar so they could get it all firsthand from you.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Keep up the good work.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Bye.
There you go. You guys want to go get deep in it. Get deep in it. Where's this at? Balls deep. Get deep in it. You can head on over and sign up for the seminar. Mr. Bill Grundler, I don't believe gyms use it like that. He's referring to the level method in the logging of their scores in the data. I think it's a scaling tool rather than a successor tool. I agree. I think it's just one of those situations where it's like, hey, look, we made it super easy for you. And as a gym owner, we've laid it all out and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I agree. I think there's so many options out there for logging your scores. And if you're a newer affiliate and you don't want to go down the path of like a Wodify or one of these other softwares, ain't nothing fancy about it. You could just pull out a whiteboard, put up everybody's name on there and ask them what they got at the end of the day. Don't overthink it. It doesn't need to be too fancy, but there is something to the members having data in record because it's really easy, especially in CrossFit, because you're always looking to level up your skills. You're always looking to get a little bit better, to get like almost too hard on yourself and forget how far you've come. And I remind my members of that all the time, especially the ones that have been around a while, like they'll climb rope in a workout or something like that. And then they'll end up being like, oh man, I sucked at that. Like I didn't even beat the time cap or I didn't get that. And I'll pull them aside and be like, hey, remember when you came in here and you told me that you would never climb rope because you were terrified of it? And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, and you just did 12 rope climbs along with everything else in the workout right here. And they're like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, that's amazing. Like
crazy.
That's incredible. Like take pride in that. And I said it on the CrossFit podcast, and I recently said it to the 5:30 a.m. crew as they're kind of like leaving out the gym. I always remind them, I'm like, hey guys, congrats. You've accomplished more in this 1 hour than more people are willing to do in this country in a lifetime. And like, it's kind of like a little tongue in cheek there, but I'm also being real serious because if you have one of these harder workouts, and we did the Kill Taylor workout, that just, crushed everybody. It was like, dude, most people are too terrified to walk in the building, let alone show up at 5:30 a.m. and take themselves through this workout.
And just walk around after the class, like go into the public, go to your Baker's or your Kroger or whatever, Whole Foods. And I mean, Whole Foods is a bad example, but like whatever your grocery store is, and just walk around and people watch Like those people, they're not doing that.
No, not a
Guaranteed.
chance. Not
Guaranteed.
a chance. And it's easy just to get caught up in our little, bubble of CrossFit here and compare
Sure.
ourselves to the best in the world or even just the best in our class and forget how important it actually is, just doing what you're doing and leveling up the way that majority of the people are that are being consistent with it. And that's the other thing too. Like I hear a lot of in the recent with everybody's saying we need to make CrossFit more accessible. And if we lead with some of these higher skilled movements, it's going to turn people away. And it drives me nuts for a couple of reasons. Number one, stop limiting their potential right off the bat. Like, who are you to say what they can and what they can't do? Okay.
The rope climb, that rope climb chick is a great example. They never thought they were going to do a rope climb. They probably walked in, they were like, fuck no, I'm never doing that. And then
literally,
now look.
yes. And you give them the ability to start. And what ends up happening too is when they break those physical limitations, it moves to the mental, meaning when they do something or accomplish something that they didn't think that they could physically, it helps them understand that they're just capable of a lot more. And so you're robbing them of that opportunity. And then B, when we did the CrossFit for Health Summit, there was a guy, Tommy Woods, who actually talked about the neuroplasticity and the changes that are made in the brain from learning new skills physically, not just mentally trying to like figure out a problem solve, but like learning, okay, I've never walked on my hands. What's my first step? How do I acclimate to this? How do I build over time and eventually make it to some sort of like handstand walk or being able to kick up onto the wall? And if you start to shy away from those movements and you don't program them, or somebody looks at the rope climb, for instance, or a ring muscle up, and you never build them the tools to be able to get there. Now, whether it's their goal or not, some people might have some sort of limitation and never quite make it to that level, but don't rob them of the opportunity. Like you never know, right?
Right. Think of just all the things that they can learn on the way there. Like that's great.
Yeah.
Point.
And there's no need to dumb it down. Like, don't kill the complexity. Don't kill the complexity.
Right.
Keep it in there. Base show defined high skill. Yeah. I mean,
anything other than the foundational movements of CrossFit, probably.
Yeah. Anything that's going to require a lot of kinesthetic awareness, anything that's going to require some sort of element of timing to it. Like a lot of those things tend to be like higher skill. And the thing is too, is like kind of what you're trying to do there. It's like, well, what is high skill? Because there's, especially in gymnastics, you have this vast array of things that kind of go on infinitely with the with what you consider high skill. But none of that even matters. What matters is the fact is that you're progressing, you're learning something new, you're challenging yourself, you're taking a little bit of risk. Like that's important. It's important to your mentals. It's important to be able to achieve stuff physically and everything else. Jake, this is Jeremy World. Jake, so do you think it's still a benefit to offer high rocks at an affiliate? Here's the deal. What we're talking about here, when we talk about the high rocks affiliation or anything like that, like it's just a fucking lead magnet. That's all it is. That's all it is. And you know what? If you had if you were in the Castro here in San Francisco, the gay district, you could put out like, hey, huge dongs. We do huge dong training here. And guess what? People would show up because that population wants huge dongs. So it doesn't matter what the fuck you put in front of it if you just get people through your door. Okay.
Putting a business card at the front desk kind of thing.
That's all these things are. And you could do it through a bunch of different ways. And you know what? If you have an area where they're bringing in a lot of like high rock stuff, if you could pull them in through your door and then swap it out and convert them to CrossFitters, awesome. Like that is the point. The point is conversions. So like whatever helps you kind of get your members through the door without having to lie to them is important. And if they need that carrot in front of them to go train for the high rocks thing or whatever it might be, and you say, hey, we could help you get really fit for that. And you bring them in and then they get into your community and they're enjoying the workouts and then they're learning the new skills. Like you got them. And that's the point of it. It used to be back in the day, like the 6-week transformations used to be the thing, right? You throw it up on ad, but on
January 1st. Yeah.
And it brings people in. So it's like it doesn't matter. Like we just get too caught up in the kind of the semantics of it. It's like, oh, it's us versus them. It's us versus them. I've already gone on multiple shows and I've said like the biggest mistake that CrossFit could have made is developing the relationships with those. Like when High Rock started getting popular, I'd have a fucking CrossFit booth and I'd be selling an L1 at every single one of them.
Yes. Oh, you want to get better at High Rocks? You should probably do CrossFit because that's the only way.
That's right.
High Rocks.
That's right. I would have made it freaking sponsored by it. Then I would have forced them to squat all the way down on their damn wall balls too.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked. You're not even doing are you even doing a real High Rocks if you're not squatting below parallel?
If it's a push press, just call it a push press then. You know what? Save everybody time.
That's so disappointing to watch that. It's kind of disgusting.
I think too, a massive opportunity, especially in the future here, is going to be offering, like it used to be the 6-week transformation and you lose X amount of weight. And typically those will always work because at the end of the day, if you're a CrossFit affiliate, like you have to sell some sort of result, not a membership. Just the way it is, right?
Okay.
Like if I explain it to you, Caleb, and I'm like, hey, we're going to go on this awesome vacation. But the plane ride's going to suck. It's going to get delayed. Then we have to take this bus. We're going to have to travel with all these bags. Like it's going to be a little tricky getting on our way there. You're like, fuck, I don't want to go. But if I just talk about the destination, then you'll go.
Huh. That's interesting. That's a good point.
Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Matt Souza. This is Fondal, and I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Awesome. Fondal, what? Fondal. Oh man, a chat staple. Good to hear your voice, sir. I was getting a little worried. We're gonna send out a missing persons report, but I'm glad you called in. I'm glad you're here. What can we do for you, sir?
So I want to follow up on the last. Imagine if Greg years ago had the foresight to develop an app for CrossFit that he made available to all the affiliates so that members log information and develop a trend line and improve methodology by benchmarking workouts, weight, food challenges, pace challenges, and so forth. I imagine the power that would have for affiliates today to show what to do for people.
Interestingly enough, I think too, there was, hindsight's always 2020. And I know Greg was really big on kind of allowing the ecosystem to thrive. Like that was his deal. Like he was, he was focused on his thing with CrossFit and allowing people like be on the whiteboard and stuff like that come in. Now, with that being said, I completely agree with what you're saying, because if you were to have like a really large data set on everything from way back when to now, and you had your affiliates using those apps and logging everything you had talked about from diet to workouts, you would have this really robust data of the validation of the methodology. And you would have a lot of markers on, hey, here's where people typically start, and here's a typical timeline of where they go after, a couple of years and different things like that. And so kind of, let me just clarify here. So what do you think would be the major benefit to that if we had it, let's say from 2010 till now?
I think you just said it. It validates the methodology. I thought where the guy that, his name slips my mind now, Rosa. I thought this is where Rosa was going in terms of an app. But it really would validate the methodology, and given Greg's interest in science, it's something I really wish that he'd had the foresight to do.
Yeah, and in conversations with Sevon, I think he did a little bit, but I just think he just thought it was outside of the scope of what he thought CrossFit HQ's role was. And with that being said, you could imagine that if you had that, right? So let's say the data of the work capacity, but then at the same time, we had different metrics on health, everything that fell underneath the sickness, wellness, fitness curve. So we had blood panels and different things like that. And even if it was all anonymous, but you had them attached to the work capacity increasing, you would be able to, without a doubt, and hold up to scientific rigor, the fact that the methodology is completely sound and completely validated. And the interesting thing about Rosa was, and you know, this is kind of where a lot of these people that might be entertaining to sell CrossFit go, is like they typically want that data so they could sell it off to third parties. And that's the unfortunate part.
Yeah, that's not the value for it. Hey, listen, I appreciate you. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. And we look forward to seeing you in front of the screen again, Mr. CEO. Thank you for all you do. That's my favorite part of somebody calling, just being able to press the button.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. I believe that now more than ever, taking the large data sets of work capacity increasing, and you can even do this typically with the open year over year, because there is that data set that's in there, and finding a way to attach it to biomarkers that are actually creating the health changes internally, and sandwiching those two together, and then just harping on that is a huge not only value point for CrossFit, but also a way to basically like display it in a way that it's never been shown before.
Right. I was wondering if you could do that. I was wondering how, like, if you were to just do this retroactively, just look at the progression of what, like, the CrossFit Games has produced. Like, if you were to go back and look at like how Formula One has evolved from like the 70s to now, like you can tell every year, every like decade, there's a new type of car. And so from the 70s to now, you've gone from like they can drive 150 miles an hour and have to get refueled in the middle of a race to now going 200 miles an hour and not having to get refueled in the middle of a race. Like you can see the progression of the engines, of the transmission, of the fuel efficiency, whatever it is. And I think you could, maybe it's probably not an exact science with CrossFit exactly, but if you were to go back from like the early 2000s, how the games were programmed, like what, like it was like a day of like 4 events or whatever, to now you're looking at it, it's like you're doing that many events in one day, and the weights are greater, the distances are longer, the like you can see the metric kind of evolve over time. But I mean, I guess if you want to be like a stat freak or you want to talk about biomarkers and stuff, you can't really do that.
But to your point, that's exactly what you would use the data for. So that way you could see like, hey, we know that if you walk into a CrossFit affiliate, if you're there for 90 days and you have a couple of comorbidities, or your type 2 diabetes, or like whatever the case may be, when you come in there, like we could already see a 90-day improvement trending in the right direction. Then we have a 120 day, and then we have a year, right? So like then all of a sudden you could validate and show somebody like, we can reverse your chronic disease, and here are the typical timelines for individuals that are stepping into the gym, that are adhering to the diet, that are reducing processed foods, taking sugar out of their diets, and working out here at a CrossFit affiliate 3 times a week. And that would be the most important part of it, because then we could just advertise the shit out of that, talk about it all over the media, and nobody could dispute it, and nobody else could do it. And so I think having that in the future for CrossFit is imperative. And I think there's a bunch of different ways to do it, because you have these Wodifys, you have the Beyond the Whiteboards. Like a lot of these people have a lot of the data. And I think that
Chris Cooper too, probably.
Chris Cooper, I mean, he does it with the business health of the gyms, right? Like where are they all trending? And this is important, because then you're not guessing, you have the data. And with that data, you're able to make really educated decisions that give us predictive value on where things are going and where we could lean into without having to, guess and risk either money or anything else.
Right.
And Ed AI is 100% correct. Health insurance doesn't want to hear that, which gets you into the whole health insurance model and why it's so flawed. Because if you actually did that with CrossFitters, you would freaking break down their whole entire system, and you would give people an opportunity to opt out and to own their own health.
Sure.
And then if you were really savvy on it, like really savvy, you would have the ability for them to also own their data. So rather than use that data to sell off for third parties, you as the individual could own your digital footprint and then decide, I'm going to keep it all for myself. I'm going to sell off part of it. I'm going to sell off all of it. And then wouldn't it be crazy if you could do that and sell off in partial or total and then use that money to subsidize your gym membership? Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that
I don't
be
know,
crazy?
man. It sounds impossible.
And then on top of that, wouldn't also be nuts if you could take that data from our community at large, you could sell off part of it if you wanted to, and then also you could use it to justify to opt out of the current health insurance model altogether. Because we already see what's happening with athletes when they get hurt or with coaches that don't have health insurance. They're starting GoFundMes. Sounds a lot like crowdfunded healthcare. That's basically what it is. But then if you could have a system behind you that would also go in and fight your bills and drop those costs down and do it as a cash pay and everything else, you could have a whole entire system that would benefit the patients a lot more and benefit the healthcare providers themselves. Just saying.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And the funny thing is most people go, well, I don't want to do that because what happens if something happens to me and I can't afford to pay it, or I have some catastrophic accident and I have $100,000 a year and more in medical expenses. And this was the big thing that I was on when I first heard about kind of the crowdfunded healthcare option, which is like, yeah, there's no way they'd be able to pay for that. But here's the crazy part. There's a tipping point, because if you do have the healthiest population inside of that, you have statistically, there's a certain amount of people that come in to where you would never have to worry about what happened to you in the event of some crazy accident and you having really high long-term medical expenses, because the cost of all those individuals on a day-to-day basis for their health is so low that you would have enough money in the pool to take care of any people that needed it for a long term.
Wow.
Especially when you find out that the reason why all of our premiums are so expensive, and by the way, you don't even know if you're actually going to be covered. It's smoke and mirrors. They say it's backed by the law, but we know all the time people shit never gets covered. Like medical debt is like the third reason for most people being so broke in this country.
Committing suicide? Sorry. Never mind.
You know, who knows? But imagine having all of that, and then you still don't even get your shit paid for. And then you just learn that we're just subsidizing everybody else who has the chronic diseases. How often do CrossFitters go to the doctors? Pretty much never, right? They don't use it. They're not a burden on the system. So then why in the world will we have to pay so much in this complex system that nobody knows how to figure out? It's not that way on accident or because it has to be. It's on that way because it benefits the insurance companies. It benefits the pharmaceutical companies. It benefits the private run hospitals.
Right.
I'm not saying we need to go into some sort of communist view of it because that's where everybody goes to. By the way, that shit's propaganda, because anytime you say any difference in the system, they want to call it socialized medicine. No, it's not. They just don't want you to realize that you're subsidizing everybody else. Or reduce your insurance rates. Oh, fuck. Comment of the century. I have so much clarity in what to do now. Captain Rogers. You might as well call yourself Captain Obvious.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Who knows? I did a Christian health share program for like 7 years.
Is that like you get it through your church or something?
I think so. And the scary part is you're always going to have people in that system that'll take advantage. So, you know, you have to be with the right person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think if you have the data, like we were talking about earlier, that got me on my soapbox here, you would really be able to have proof in the pudding, and you would want to be able to see some of the larger data and see some of these healthcare things being paid for and be able to really understand how that system works. So that way you could build trust. Transparency.
That's right. Everybody wants transparency, right?
Yeah.
They want to know everything.
Just not about themselves, just only everything else. Oh shit. Okay, we got one more caller. This will be our last caller here today.
Oh shit.
Let's see
Busy
what's going
today.
on.
What's everybody doing?
Man, caller, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where you calling from? Shit.
Hello, Dad.
Sorry, one more time. What's your name? And you're calling from New Hampshire. I got that part.
Yeah, my name is Bo.
Bo, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm just kind of tuning in, so forgive me if you're repeating yourself, but can you talk to me like a fifth grader about this? I have 3 kids. We pay $1,300 in insurance. It's a terrible insurance, high deductible. This is a month, and very healthy. And we go to a preventative doctor, and preventative meaning like gallery test, all the if you want to get stem cells, they can do it. We pay out of pocket for that stuff,
right?
And it's just for catastrophic reasons. What should I be doing with my $1,300? In your opinion?
Damn, that's a great question, and I wish I had like a really sound answer for you. But the thing is with that $1,300 that you're paying out, depending on how healthy everybody is, depending on how proactive you are with your health, are you guys eating properly? Are you guys working out and everybody's moving? If all of those boxes are checked, I would definitely look into a health insurance alternative, because you're not really going to be utilizing the system in the way that you're paying for it. And so you might as well either put that money to use with the crowdfunded health, or honestly just fucking save it. And so that way it's there for you when you guys need it, because if you're already paying out of pocket anyways, you're going to need a little lump sum of cash there. And trying not to be too fooled by like these other health savings accounts and different things like that, because a lot of those aren't really, they're kind of like smoke and mirror, and they're just forcing you to use them in certain ways. But I would
so
go ahead.
I get what you're saying, and this is the obvious point. Let's say I need to get medevaced because I have a skiing accident, I break my back, and I'm $800,000 into debt. And savings are at $13,000 from saving that money per month. I'm fine with saving that money per month. I think it's a great idea. You could even invest it, but until you get it up to a substantial 6-figure amount, kind of in limbo.
Yeah,
and we are very healthy.
And so think about it this way: the $800,000 that you would be paying through all the insurances and everything else. And that's why it's important to kind of partner with like a place like Crowd Health or Community Care. Those are the same companies, because what they do is they go down and they fight your bill all the way down to a cash pay cost. So they're going to take that $800,000, and we know that that ambulance ride and everything else is 10 grand plus the helicopters, all this much money, and it's all inflated. And so once they are able to negotiate that bill down, you'd be surprised at how far that first off that bill would come down. And then the ability to reach into those funds through the crowdfunded health and get it paid for is probably, and I'm not 100% sure on this. I would definitely talk to Jen from the CrossFit Medical Society. She's way more educated in this than I am, but it would probably lower that bill substantially and then get it taken care of, to where if you did end up having some debt on there, it'd be substantially lower, and you could already put some of that savings that you were taking that $1,300 and putting away toward it.
Understood. So you would start, where would you start? What company would you start with contacting if you were me?
I would contact the CrossFit Medical Society, because Dr. Tom and Jen that are running it there, they're not into pushing you into any which way. They will both listen to exactly your situation and go through all the questions and be able to go through like very specific scenarios with you and run the numbers. And so
gotcha.
I would do that. And if anything, though, just for an understanding of like, okay, here are all my options, whether you make the change or not, whether you're comfortable with it or not, like that doesn't matter. In my opinion, it's just the fact of you like knowing all the options that are there, especially if you're paying out that much. And like we had Sarah Cox
it's ridiculous.
We had Sarah Cox just said something else. She said, we submit 20,000 claims per month at the lab and only get paid for 10% of them. So, I mean, like it's crazy. Like if you, and I've really just started to scratch the surface on all of this. I actually have a bunch of, like if you look at some of the stuff I post in my Instagram, I like go back and forth with Gemini, Google's AI model, to like question it. And one of the things that it was going is I was like, wait, so if I if I pay out all these heavy premiums and I do all of this, it's saying that the health insurance is going to guarantee that I'm covered. And then it's like, yes. And I'm like, well, then if that's the case, why do so many claims not get covered? And it's like, oh, great question, because they fall outside of your network and, you know, they make you go through these hoops. And I'm like, so wait a minute, then how does that even make sure that there's a guarantee on that coverage? If there was, God forbid, the accident that you just described to us, what are the odds that I would get covered? And it's like pretty low. And so if you're, so if you're already in that boat, which most people don't even realize that they are, like, you might as well know other options that are out in front of you. So that way you are at least somewhat prepared for that before that happens. Because the only thing that's worse than that catastrophic accident happening is that happening and then trying to make all these financial decisions when that is good, when your family's going through that. It's like, it's
right.
It's so crazy to think that the advantage that people get taken of in those situations. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah. A good example of what you just mentioned is that UFC kid, Ben Aspirin, I think, or Ben something, he lost a lung or needed a lung transplant.
Yep.
You know, it's a pretty public story, and he had insurance and they just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry, you felt you were out of network. You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely insane.
It's a scam.
It is a scam.
And you know what? Speaking of scams, how many years are we out until it's public knowledge that chronic disease and illness is just a choice with your hand and mouth for the most part?
Ooh, that's a great
how many years
question.
do you think until we realize it's lifestyle and it's your choice on how you want to handle those chronic illnesses?
Well, I think for a certain group of people, especially the ones usually listening to the show or inside the affiliates, already know that. And I think the biggest thing that we're going up against is the fact that majority of these food companies, and Coca-Cola being one of them, it's the biggest one of them, they literally develop these shell companies, these front companies to buy science, quote unquote, that essentially tells them, hey, it's not necessarily these products that are bad for you, it's this. And like, if you remember the Global Energy Network, which was backed by the Obamas and was funded by Coca-Cola, they legit had scientists sitting on there and medical doctors saying, like, we don't really know the cause of obesity for sure. We don't know that it's the food that you're putting in your mouth. So when you're going up against that machine with that much money, I think it's really tough. The second part of that is the fact that majority of these people are addicts. So imagine going to somebody who's addicted to heroin or cocaine and being like, hey, this is ruining your life. And, you know, you are losing years because of this and everything else. And they go, yeah, but I just watched this and my doctor just said it was fine. My doctor just said I just had to like exercise more if I'm going to do heroin. Like,
that's a doctor saying that a cured patient is a lost customer. That's
right. That's right. And I think that CrossFit, with the data that we talked about and some of these other entities like the CrossFit Medical Society and the crowdfunded health option, honestly, like, we're years away from being able to flip that model on its head and say, actually, the way that this healthcare system profits is by having people in gyms and proactively working on their own health, as opposed to how it is now, where we need sick people in beds and we need them on medications, because that's how this system profits.
Right. And if you think about putting that pool of money into some sort of high yield savings that can make 4, 5, 6% a year, very safe, no one's going to the doctor. I know nobody goes at all. Maybe you break an arm, but even no one's breaking an arm. I don't see it in gyms.
Right.
You know, knock on wood, but I'm just not seeing it.
That's right.
So that pool would add up quick. So just to recap, I'm going to contact Crown Funded Health Option. What's that person's doctor who I've never heard of?
Go to the CrossFit Medical Society. Just type in CrossFit Medical Society. That'll pop up, and you could contact either Jen or Dr. Tom there, and they'll just walk you through all your stuff.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thanks for the call, Bo. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Hey.
Yeah.
What was Beaver's head the other day? I saw a reel with like a hood. It looked like he just got back from Dubai. What was that?
Caleb?
It's my headdress. It's my traditional shamag. I was keeping the sand out of my face.
Yeah, there it is. I didn't know if you headbutted the coffee table and that came down onto your head or what.
No. I use this to maintain relations with the Middle Easterners. Make sure that they
Okay.
know we are one. We're friends. Everything's
Perfect.
He's assimilating.
That's right.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate the
I
call.
love you. Bye.
Bye for now.
Oh shit. Looks like a picnic table cover.
Hey, don't disrespect the shamog like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Shemog. KC, what's up? Captain Rogers, mic drop. Yeah, you said something interesting too up here. Captain, he was like, and reduce the cost down to 250K, which like is still substantial. Don't get me wrong. But like in that hypothetical scenario of like a catastrophic accident happens and they price it at $800,000, and then you have a company that goes for bat for you to lower that bill with a cash pay option, and they drop it from 800 to 250K, still extremely expensive, but way less than $800,000.
Right.
So
Right.
like, you know, there's still going to be substantial costs. God forbid, you know, these catastrophic injuries happen. But when you also think about now the figures at 90 cents per every dollar is spent on chronic disease, like imagine having an alternative option that just erases that. And that other 10 cents that is spent on all the catastrophic stuff, all the kinetic things and different things like that, you would be surprised at how much money could actually be into the system and could help other people get it taken care of. Jody Lynn, another great call. I think so. And I think we'll end it on that note. Caleb, thank you for being here at the CrossFit Hotline show. I appreciate it.
Good times.
All of you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Jenny will be on later. What time is that? Don't click that because it's going to play us. Hold on, let's see. You know what's funny? It's like, you know, we're still shadow banned when I go to this channel every single morning, and none of this shit populates in my feed ever.
Yeah. It's at 105 Eastern time.
Ever. Yeah, 105 p.m. I have a 105 my time. Pacific.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, I meant Pacific time.
Yeah, 105 Pacific time. You'll see Jenny and Glinton things on the podcast. It'll be a good show. It always is. It's always a good time as they go through all of the gossip around the stuff. What is their success rate negotiation, though? It doesn't make sense that they can promise that. Go check it out, Seema. I don't have all the facts there, but they actually list out all of that stuff. So go to CrossFit Medical Society, go to Community Care, go check it out. Look it up for yourself there. And I know that the more people that opt into that system, the more likelihood there's going to be to get everybody taken care of. But I don't have all the facts in front of me, so you guys should go check that out. And we'll see you guys next time. Be good to each other out there. At the end of the day, that's pretty much all we got. Bye-bye.